facet of our lives, light shapes and defines the world around us. Like a piece of beautiful music, a well-crafted lighting design affects every level of our emotions. Light, by its very essence, becomes a natural element. Under the right light, an object can reveal its innermost secrets or mask itself with illusion. An intangible medium, light affects everything it touches. With this in mind, our lighting design will add a whole new level of reality to the movie magic of the MCA Universal Studio Tour in Florida. The challenge of lighting the studio tour lies in its very nature. Unlike other amusement areas built on similar themes, the MCA Universal Studio Tour is a real working studio backlot. Therefore, people will expect to find movie lighting throughout the park. However, film lighting techniques are impractical and ineffective in a permanent installation. The majority of the time, film lighting is used to satisfy only one visual angle out of thousands. And the lighting instruments are at best temporary and exposed to the elements and the discerning critical eye. The solution is to light the studio tour applying theatrical lighting techniques designed for architectural applications. In this way, the light design will create the illusion of film lighting. It will visibly support and enhance the concepts designed by the art directors. This approach has allowed the designers more variety in their creative designs, and this lighting design will form a functional and secure environment to enable the smooth and safe operation of the MCA Universal Studio Tour. Traditionally, theme parks, expositions, world fairs, and until recently, many landmarks have been underlit. This lack of illumination and visibility created many unnecessary safety hazards. Two recent examples of this precedent were the 1984 New Orleans World Fair and the Vancouver Expo in 1986. As a result, many of these dimly lit areas became safety hazards for guests and resulted in numerous lawsuits. Compare this with the success of the Paris Exposition of 1937 and the New York World's Fair in 1939. These expositions were renowned throughout the world as cities of brilliant light. Both also had an enviable safety record and were huge critical successes. Theoria put this design philosophy to practical use in Australia for the 1988 Brisbane Expo. The authorities had felt after a study of other expos that they wanted a safer site. So Daniel Flannery, along with four-time Academy Award winner John Truscott, used these design concepts to create an exciting nighttime environment. The result was as dramatic as any indoor theatrical presentation, and most importantly, just as safe. Experience showed us what we could and could not do outdoors. And it is this experience and success that led us to the MCA Universal Studio Tour design and this presentation. Unlike architectural design, light design is difficult to render in drawings. It is as difficult to capture the subtleties of a three-dimensional visual lighting composition in a two-dimensional format as it would be for a blind man to fully grasp the beauty of a glorious sunset. It is rare to find an illustrator that can fully capture the effects, textures, and quality of light, much less the cost involved. We are including within this presentation photographs of similar applications to illustrate the varied lighting effects that have been specified within our design. As they pass through the facility, guests will notice that the landscaping and signage have received individual attention in consideration of nighttime lighting. The signage is important for guest direction, and the landscaping is as important as the architectural facades. Being the entrance and pathway to the MCA Universal Studio Tour, this area will be lit in a traditional architectural manner. The focus will be on the ticket booths, with no lighting enhancements to their architecture and minimal landscape lighting. Buildings surrounding this area will be recognized as working offices. As our guests proceed through the studio forecourt, they walk past the Emporium and Movie Memory stores. Here, the lighting focus will shift to the window displays in each of the stores. This will help augment new promotional and sales products found within the displays. If they decide not to take a visit to the stores, our excited visitors will be drawn down the palm-lined street by columns of light blazing upwards from the base of the palms. As befits the magic and elegance of fabled Hollywood Boulevard, the lighting in this area will be more stylized and theatrical in its design. Character and architectural light fixtures will be located in an exaggerated pattern on the facades, adding to the realism. Glamorous, with a distinct feel of the past, the air will be filled with the ambient lighting of a Los Angeles evening at twilight. The most common means of achieving this nighttime lighting effect is an excessive use of Tivoli lighting and/or neon outlining the building. However, we have developed a unique approach in creating a warmer, more welcoming effect. This will be accomplished through the use of projector units on the rooftops, which will wash the facades of the boulevard with their glow. This lighting design, specified for Hollywood Boulevard, will provide a much more stylized and romantic environment for our guests to enjoy. In the case of the Brown Derby, the lighting effects will be more natural and familiar to the guests. Exiting Hollywood Boulevard, our guests are immediately swept into the scenic beauty of this replica of this metropolitan park. Our lighting design will enhance this natural beauty. As in New York Central Park, character pole lamps will dapple the landscape, accentuating the lushness and greenery of the surrounding plants in a minimal and subtle lighting scheme. Guests approaching the Expo area will be struck by the high-tech look of the surrounding set and light design. Mixing neon and metal and halide lighting instruments for a crisper, colder glow, the lighting will support the glossy, metallic sheen of the buildings. Programmable lighting will be located in the glass towers flanking the entrance to the Back to the Future attraction in a brilliant kinetic display. With the utilization of 3 different lighting approaches, the flagpoles do triple duty as they aid needy or curious guests. For example, when lit from the ground level by lights hidden in their bases, the flagpoles serve as borders to the many walkways throughout the park. When lit by lighting fixtures attached to the poles, they serve as tall signs to indicate the locations of nearby restrooms, first aid, or other guest facilities. And finally, when dramatically lit from a nearby rooftop, these flagpoles will act as guides. Their presence will indicate the entrance to each facility in every themed area. In addition, landscape lights surrounding the Expo area will help visually balance the space with the nearby larger buildings. Crossing quickly over a connecting bridge from the Expo area, our curious guests enter the quaint New England setting of Amity. Reflected light from the surface of the lagoon will highlight portions of the harbor area, enshrouding it in a silver blanket of moonlight. In the interior of the Amity Village, character lighting will provide a lower light level, which will cast a warm glow over the village. This will heighten the rustic, small-town atmosphere. Outside of the Jaws ride, the enormous shark which hangs from the yard arm will be lit like a monument, overwhelming guests with its size and power. Beckoning our guests further into an amusement area is a carnival of lights. Lighting in this area will include strings of bare light globes, which penetrate the night, outlining each game area like islands of light. Drawing the guests into these bright oases will be the game booths and signs bedecked by strings of electrical chase lights. Moving past the amusement section, our guests will enter the San Francisco area, where the ambience is reminiscent of the center of Ghirardelli Square. A section of the dock area of Fisherman's Wharf will be lovingly recreated and highlighted with character lighting. Source lighting spilling forth from the interior of the restaurants will be warm and inviting. Marine-like character fixtures under the landings will highlight specific portions of the lagoon area. Light fixtures on the facades will add to the realism in this recreation of the San Francisco Wharf. The next stop for our guests on the MCA Universal Studio Tour will be the metropolitan area of New York. Like a Hugh Ferris drawing, this metropolis will be wreathed in light and shadow. There is a quality in the facades of the buildings and in the lighting that highlights their features. This combination of light and architecture can't help but draw visitors into the lure of the city. The backstage area will be lit to resemble an actual working studio environment. Wall-mounted industrial fixtures will act as flood lamps for general illumination. Flashing red lights will be used at the entranceways of all of the sound stages to designate a working area. In this project, the lighting is a blend of many different styles, techniques, and concepts, which give the guests a wide range of experiences. But the lighting for the MCA Universal Studios tour in Florida is not designed to be a feature unto itself. It is meant to enhance and support and ultimately harmonize with the other design disciplines involved in this project. Together, they can form a stirring view of the MCA Universal Studios tour in Florida that can be experienced by all.